her feedback, then it will never be a team. It will be always like small argument or something like that. So the most important for me and as for dancer is to hear the information and then to do. And it comes to feelings. When you dance, for example, something that is slow, as a rumba or slow waltz or slow foxtrot, then you try not only to do your steps, movements, also you share your feelings and you not make such faces, but you show with, probably it can't be always smile, but with your eyes, with your, if we need long arms, long hands, if we need to do that. And then after those moments and after those dances, I feel, yes, we did it. Like we presented each other probably 10 minutes or less of joy, of the joy that energy goes around us. And also when we go to the audience and just competition or it can be show, then we also try to show audience not how we good are in this kind of sport, but how is possible to speak without words, just to show your feelings and then take it. The next table topic master will be you. You have to ask question. Вам надо задать какой-то вопрос и кому-то. Или
задать какое-то задание, чтобы человек говорил.
I speak about nature.
Нужно задать вопрос.
Да. Чи буваєте ви в ботанічному саду, коли цвіте бузок? І бачили ви цю красу чи ні? Розкажіть мені, будь ласка. О, кого? Я знаю, що Зоя знає цю красу і бувають там, але я хочу чоловіків запитати. Я вас запитую.
It's very interesting question because I live near the botanic garden. Botanic garden here by the underground station, university underground station. Yeah. And there are a lot of flowers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, now this is a period of flourishing magnolia flourishing. Yeah. Blossom, yeah. Of magnolia blossom. I haven't seen buzok. Lilac.
Lilac.
Ah, lilac. Yeah. But I've seen a lot of magnolia flowers. It's very crowded place. Everybody makes photos and so on. And in such a way, it could be damage for these trees and for grounds, because a lot of people are admiring magnolia. Yeah, but when I went down to the Saxaganskoye street, I've seen lilac. I've seen lilac, yeah, near the house, and somebody broke the tranches. Yeah, somebody broke the tranches in order to form some bucket, bouquet. some bouquet, yeah. And I told him, don't do it. This is a very awful thing. He answered me, oh, everything okay, because if you don't make it, the lilac will grow and will impede passengers to go by. Okay, I said okay, but lilac it's very joyful and very inspireful things, flowers in our life, because it initiate our because it reminds us about beautiful things in our life. So this is my turn to.
No, just invite the good topic master.
Okay. Okay. So Artem, this is your turn.
Guys, every morning I get up and think about Germany. Germany, again I forget about homework. It's my fear. It's my fear of Germany. And one question about your fear. What's your fear? Maybe your fear about, I even don't know, maybe that you are not meet some friends. Maybe, what you about your fear? It's question to Zoya.
Was there a dream?
О страхах.
No,
My
what?
dreams?
Какой у вас страх?
Страх.
Oh, fear. Thank you. When I was a girl, I had a lot of fears. I was a very fearful child. I was afraid of darkness. I was afraid of dogs. I was afraid of being alone at home. I was afraid of water. I was afraid of everything. The only thing I was not afraid of is a height. So I could stand on a high place or mountain and look down, and I was not afraid. But all other things I was afraid of. But later, when I became older, and I understood that 2/3 of all my fears are just in vain, because nothing happens with you when it is dark, and nothing happens with you when you are alone at home. Actually, I like to be alone at home. And when you are swimming, nothing happens to you. If you can swim, if you cannot swim, don't swim. So I learned how to overcome my fears. But one fear, I would say it's kind of not a fear, but a shame. I'm not still used to being very sincere with people, to tell them my deepest emotions or my deepest intentions. So that's why I'm in Toastmaster. I'm trying to overcome all my fears, to speak in public, to be sincere, to speak about my life. And I should tell you that it helps. It helps very much. And even now, when it is not so nice view, when you look at me, my hand is shaking and I'm trying to stop her, but it doesn't stop. I'm still trying to overcome my fear, and I would advise everyone to choose the fear that you have and try to do something to overcome it. Okay, do we still have time? Yes. Now I invite Alex to ask a question.
Ask questions.
Or give a topic to speak to her.
But to give a topic to speak. Because asking questions So stop. I prefer answering questions, but not asking them, because I believe to should always the question from some it is me, from some from this the room. But I found the talk. Let's speak about the time. I suggest somebody to speak about the role of time rules in his or your life. Any volunteers? Okay, we'll try to concrete questions about the time. Everybody of us has some time management of any kind, because we need to manage our time because of some tasks in our life, events in our life, relationships in our life. What do you think the main goals of time management, of your private time management? I would like to ask Yuri about it.
Юрий was.
Юрий was already
Well, everybody was.
No, Victoria, Артем,
Okay, that's Victoria.
Катерина.
Time management, yeah, it's very important, of course. But in my life, time management was a period, I think, just with born my first kid. Before, I was very lazy. All the time, I didn't respect time, and all the time I missed the beginning of meeting, and I was lost, right? Was lost, I was lost.
Late.
Was late, right? All the time. But when I gave a born to my kid, my life was changed. Because I should to feed him. I have to wake up him in the school and in the children garden and different training and something else. And when I gave born to my second kid, all my life changed totally. Because it was crazy kid, and now he's very, very active. And it's impossible to live without plan, without some courses, some courses, right? Clubs, right, for kids. And all my day, I think 2 weeks in the future, I have all my time, I have my time management for 2 weeks in future. So, but it helped me to change my inner position. I began to respect the time, and now I go for a walk 15-20 minutes before the beginning of my work day. So, and now I think, yes, time management is very important, and when you respect your time, when you respect the time of other people, it makes your life more easy. Thanks. And I have to invite somebody to ask. Oh. Did you ask something?
No, I didn't.
Okay, go again. The quote is the following: "You can be a rainbow in someone else's life." Can you? You can be a rainbow in someone else's life. Can you? It goes to Artem.
Якесь питання ще одне
Can you
підкажіть.
be a rainbow in somebody else's
Можете ли вы
life?
быть радугой в чьей-то
Somebody's
жизни?
life. What is a rainbow?
Радуга.
Ты бы мог быть радугой чьей-то жизни? You like it.
Глупости дождя.
Це записувати не можна.
Difficult question. But you know what? Of course, I can be a rainbow.
Рембо.
How answer this question? No, you know this rainbow is be after rain. Rain is like a phase of our lives, and you know, no one can be rainbow after rain. Some people left in the rain, but I, and every time can be rainbow. Every time when I fell, always I became rainbow. When I became rainbow in the lessons of Germany, when I didn't do a homework, what I do? I became a rainbow and say that I have some illness and go to the medical. And you know what? I became a rainbow. And every time I became rainbow. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. As a tribute master, I would like to thank all participants, and I think we had a lot of fun asking each other questions and even smiling a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Chairperson.
Let me repeat this congratulation, and I appreciate your time, appreciate you taking part in our meeting, and let me declare our meeting adjourned. Yeah?
Evaluation session.
Let me open our evaluation session.
Yeah.
Who's
Zoe is first.
Julia, it's your turn.
The
You are
tabletop-
the table topic evaluation.
Evaluation.
Yeah, so this is your.
Two roles in one person. That is very unusual. But this is unusual day. I should say that though people were asking really difficult questions today, deep questions, as somebody mentioned, difficult and deep questions, you managed very well to answer them, to create little stories with introduction and conclusion, which is always important. So one of the first questions was about was to Yuri. His speech about Leo Tolstoy and Dostoevsky. We know that these are two favorite writers of Yuri. And by the way, recently he celebrated his birthday, so let's sing happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Yuri. Happy birthday to you. We're very happy that you were born. And not only because you are a very good friend and very devoted toastmaster, but also you are excellent speaker and always show us good example of speech beginning, speech body and ending, humor, jokes, gestures, eye contact is perfect. It's difficult to find something to advise, but I would advise you to work on your voice. You have a beautiful, strong voice of a lawyer, but try to make it sometimes a little softer, a little more like romantic. So maybe it will be a little change in your voice structure. The next question was about botanical garden, and Alex was a speaker about botanical garden. I should tell you that you improved your speaking skills very much. It was not only the answer to the question, but it was a little speech. You were not very confident in the beginning, but then later when you started speaking, you acquired this confidence and started to look at us. And so the only thing I would advise you later, think of some message that you would like to share with people during your speech. Not only just telling stories, but also some message, something you want to advise people to do.
Some conclusion.
Some conclusion, yeah, some optimistic ending. Now, Veronica was speaking about dance, and this is not a surprise. We love to hear about dance. Some of us are not dancers, so that's why it is always like